Do you have a second, Rachel? There's something I need to talk to you about. Sure, Samantha, what's up? So here's the deal. I think you've been living off your parents for long enough now. Like, sure, you're the baby of the family and all, but don't you have any desire at all to stand on your own 2 feet? Do you really want to live with your mom forever? This is awfully sudden. To be honest, yes, I have thought about moving into my own apartment in the past. But Tom moved out after college, and he's been living with you ever since you got married. And my dad's been out of the picture for a really long time. So if I left, then my mom would be all by herself, and I don't want to do that to her. Oh, if that's all you're concerned about, let me assure you that you no longer have to stick around any longer. I may be just her daughter-in-law, but I love your mother, and she likes me a lot too. Even if you were to move away, I would be more than capable of taking care of her for you. Oh, I see. Well, that's very reassuring to hear, Samantha. Can I ask why you're bringing this up, though? Yeah, that's the real issue I wanted to talk to you about today. I know you're building a duplex right now for your mom, but you're not actually planning on living in it, are you? I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Samantha. You're right, I'm building it to make sure my mom has a comfortable place to live, but I was also planning on living in one of the units. Oh, come on, don't be ridiculous. You don't need to feel obligated to stick around to look after her or anything. I know this may seem kind of old-fashioned, but your brother is the firstborn of the family, right? So yeah, I married him assuming that one day I would be responsible for taking care of your mom. However, I'm not too interested in taking care of his sister, too. My hands are going to be full caring for one elderly woman. I don't want to have to babysit anyone else. That's an odd thing to say. I mean, the thought of having you babysit me, whatever that entails, has never even crossed my mind. I am fully capable of taking care of myself, so you don't need to worry about me. Thanks for your concern, though. Okay, maybe I wasn't being clear enough. It's not that I'm being concerned about you. Could you take a minute and look at things from my point of view? I'm the daughter-in-law of the family, right? Imagine me trying my hardest to make sure I stay in my mother-in-law's good graces. But then my sister-in-law is always right there, breathing down my neck. Do you get what I'm saying? No, Samantha, actually I don't. Are we still talking about the duplex I'm having built for us? That's exactly right, and I'm trying to tell you that you really should consider living on your own from now on. I mean, just because you're building a house for your mom doesn't mean you're under any obligation to actually live there, right? You've done a lot for your mom up until now. You've been a great daughter. So what if you just completely hand over the house to your mom as a sort of parting gift and start living your own life? Samantha, I'm really sorry, but I am not following you at all. I mean, why would I go to the trouble and expense of building a duplex just to go and live on my own? Could you please be more explicit about what you're trying to say? It's like I said earlier, Rachel. I want to do things the old-fashioned way. Your brother is the oldest child in the family, so it's up to him and me, his wife, to take care of your mom. That's all I'm saying. And what about you, Rachel? Don't you want to do anything else with your life? If you get married one day, then you might end up in the same position as me. You don't want to have to take care of 2 moms, do you? And the best way for us to be able to take care of your mom is for us to be living as close to her as possible. I'd say that if anyone is going to live in that duplex with her, it should be us. Oh, okay. I think I get what you're saying now. If that's really what you want, then I suppose you could always buy the house for my mom instead of me. Wow, is that really okay? Thanks for being so understanding, Rachel. I really appreciate this. I'm gonna go and tell Tom the great news. Talk to you later. Sure, talk to you later, I guess. Samantha, what's going on here? I just got to the house and all of my stuff has been thrown down by the curb. and your car is in the driveway. Are you the one who did this? Oh, you mean it's all still there? Oh, that's great news. I was wondering whether you were going to make it or not before the garbage trucks came around. So then it was you? You went into my house while I was away and threw all of my stuff out onto the curb? Hey now, I did no such thing. I didn't throw any of it. I carried it out and gently set it all down on the curb, all to save you the trouble of doing it yourself. A simple thank you would be nice. Once again, I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you doing, Samantha? Why did you put all of my stuff down by the curb on garbage day? Oh, bless your heart, you really don't get it. This house isn't yours, Rachel. It's ours. And of course, by ours, I mean mine. You have no right to live here. I don't? Oh, come on. Are you just acting stupid or did you forget? You had the ownership of this house transferred over to my brother, right? You signed a contract and everything. Well, yeah, but the contract said that once the construction of the house was completed, all rights and responsibilities associated with this property would be transferred to Tom. Yeah, and now that the construction is done, that means it's mine. So this was your plan all along then? And my mom, what does she have to say about all of this? She said she'd rather not get stuck living with a high school dropout loser like you. But she agreed to live with me when I offered to build the house for her. What changed since then? I worked my magic. I've been dropping subtle hints on her for a long time now about how you would be unreliable for her. Like, she's been way too nice to you all these years. There's no way she'll be able to count on you when the chips are down. I mean, a high school dropout like you must be super hard up for money. I wouldn't put it past you to speed things along, if you know what I mean. If it means getting your hands on her inheritance, there's nothing you wouldn't do. This way, she both gets a house for free and she doesn't need to fear for her safety. I don't believe it. You somehow convinced my mother that I would try to kill her to get her inheritance? Well, to be honest, I'm not all that surprised. It wouldn't be the first time my mother has betrayed someone who trusted her for a selfish reason. Aw, are you getting a case of the sads? Oh, you poor thing. Anyway, get out. Thanks so much for the house, Rachel. It must have cost you a fortune. $700,000, in fact. But all right, Samantha. I'll leave. Wait, for real? Just like that? You're not going to fight us for it or anything? Wow, that was way easier than I expected. Bye-bye, Rachel. I'll keep my promise and transfer the title once the work on the house is complete. There are still a few minor details to be worked out, but once that's done, it'll be all yours. So we have nothing more to talk about. Never contact me again.
Hey there, Rachel. I think I remember you telling me you were moving into the new house today. Well, how is it? Is it everything you imagined it would be?
Hey, Dad. Actually, Tom's wife, Samantha, kicked me out.
What? How? That isn't her house. That's the one that you bought for your mother. They can't kick you out. You can just kick them out.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I can. But she's not exactly what you would call a normal person. Like, I was only talking to the woman for 5 minutes and I already wanted to start ripping out my hair. So I gave up talking to them a while ago and started laying the groundwork for a plan B. You know, if the worst case scenario came to pass, which I think it's safe to say, it has.
So you've been suspicious of them for some time now?
It's less that I was suspicious and more that she clearly had ill intent. But for what it's worth, I was ready the entire time to follow through with my promise to Mom. After all, despite everything that's happened, she did still raise me. But after what's just happened, I'm not going to put up with this.
I'm terribly sorry you had to deal with that, Rachel.
It's all right, Dad, don't worry. Like I said, I was prepared for this possibility. A while back, Tom started saying that he wanted to put the house in his name, so I made an agreement with him to do just that once the work on the house was finished. We signed a contract and everything. They think they managed to pull a quick one on me, but they've got another thing coming.
I can't believe your own brother would do that to you. It would seem that, unlike you, Tom took after your mother. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be criticizing her in front of you.
No, it's all right, Dad. The truth is that I got that sort of impression about Mom a long time ago, and the same goes for Tom. The two of them really are a lot alike, and not in a good way. They think that they have the upper hand now, but that won't last for very much longer. I purposefully only moved a small portion of my stuff into the house precisely because I thought this would happen. That's why I was so willing to leave when Samantha kicked me out.
Wow, it sounds like you've got them right where you want them.
I sure do. And by the way, Dad, there's something else I've been meaning to talk to you about.
What is it, Rachel?
When you left, Mom said that you were abandoning the family because you got tired of living with us. She made you sound like a total irresponsible jerk who didn't care about anybody but yourself. But I've had the feeling for quite some time now that she wasn't telling us the whole story. That's why I started talking to you again a few years ago. And my suspicions were confirmed when she threw in her hat with Tom and Samantha. All these years, I've been nothing but good to her. I've paid for all of her living expenses since I was old enough to work, and then she goes and stabs me in the back. I was young and stupid. She told me that it was a child's responsibility to take care of their parents, and I believed her. But now I realize that she'd just been brainwashing me. I'm right, aren't I?
I had a feeling that she would tell you something like that about me. Rachel, I feel like I can tell you this now that you're older, but your mother has indeed been lying to you. I never abandoned you, not for 1 second. But I was young and foolish at the time, just like you. I thought that giving her everything that she wanted would be the best way to protect you. God, I'm so sorry, Rachel.
You gave her everything she wanted? What does that mean?
As you seem to have figured out by yourself, I didn't simply up and abandon you all. The truth is that there were quite a few reasons that things didn't work out between your mother and I. The chiefest among them being that she was cheating on me.
What? She was cheating on you?
Yes, and when I confronted her about it, she went absolutely berserk. She said that I had no right to judge her for what she did while I was away at work. So I told her that if she wants to fool around with other men, that's fine. Divorce me, give me the kids, and go do what you wish. But then she told me that she would never relinquish custody. She didn't admit this, but the only reason she wanted to keep you was so she could take more money from me after the divorce. She would get both alimony and child support payments so she would never have to work again. You were a baby at the time, and your brother was still in diapers, so I felt like I couldn't take you away from your mother. I wasn't very happy with the outcome, but I honestly felt that allowing the two of you to believe in a fantasy version of your mother would be for the best. I left and swore that I would never tell you the truth about what happened. I was such a fool. Please forgive me.
I found out you had been sending her money when I snuck a peek at her bank statement several years ago, but I never knew that any of that happened. So it's true then, she was lying about you to us so she could steal all the money you were giving her. We thought you weren't giving us a dime. Not only that, she made me drop out of high school and work to pay the bills. How could she do that to me?
And it seems your brother has married a woman just like her.
I think you're right about that, Dad. She was the one who first contacted me about putting the house in Tom's name. She's the brains of the operation. He's just along for the ride. And now she's trying to make me buy them a house to kick me out to the curb? You're right, that's practically the same thing that Mom did to you.
The apple didn't fall far from the tree, and the tree is rotten to the core.
Thanks for telling me the truth, Dad. I know it must have been hard, but thanks to you, I know I don't need to hold back on them anymore. It makes me think about all the sob stories Mom used to tell us about you. She claimed that you leaving us sent her into a depression that was so bad that she couldn't work. And it's thanks to that I've been stuck with taking care of her all this time. I even built a duplex so I could stay close to her once she started getting older. She tried to play herself off as the victim of your betrayal, but she was the one stabbing you and me in the back. That settles it. I'm gonna crush all three of them. And that damned house along with them. Rachel, what happened? My house, it's gone. There's nothing left at all. It's like a tornado came through and blew it all away. Nah, it wasn't a tornado, just some heavy equipment. I had the house torn down. After all, I was the one who had the house built in the first place. What do you think? Impressive, right? I sure picked a good company to do the demolition. They had the entire thing torn down while the three of you were gone for the weekend on vacation. Do you need any houses torn down? I can give you their number if you want. I don't even have a house anymore, thanks to you. What are we supposed to do now? Where are we going to live? I don't know. Wherever you feel like, I guess. It's not really my problem. You're a big girl, aren't you? I think you can handle finding an apartment or something without my help. You've got a nice plot of land there, though. Why not build a house of your own there? Are you joking? How are we supposed to build a new house like this? Tom just found out what happened and he's losing his mind. Why does he have to pay back the loan that you took out to build the house? Do I really have to explain that to you? I mean, this is pretty basic stuff. That entire property is now legally Tom's property. And that means that all the rights and responsibilities associated with it are also Tom's. That means he's on the hook for paying the loan. I was under the impression that you knew that was the case when you pressured me into signing the house over to you guys. But why do we have to pay for a house that isn't even there anymore? I mean, you tore down the house. What gave you the right to do that? Again, this is quite simple. The contract I signed with Tom stated that the land and house would become his property once the work on the house was completed. Yeah, and it was completed. You moved in. Actually, no. They didn't put the mailbox up on the side of the road yet, so it wasn't completed. I called the contractor and made a few little alterations to the order. Now that the work is finished and the mailbox is up, the house is all yours. You did this on purpose! Of course I did. Do you really think I was dumb enough to just sign over all the rights to a house that I was paying for? Well, duh. I mean, you dropped out of high school. Only idiots do that. And that miscalculation of yours was what allowed me to trick you guys so easily. You know, if you got outplayed by a high school dropout, and high school dropouts are dumb, that makes you even dumber than a high school dropout. Oh, aren't you clever? I bet you feel really good about yourself, don't you? How immature can you be? How immature could I be? Well, let's see. I suppose I could always go into your house and throw all your stuff onto the curb. Wouldn't that be immature? Oh, and then after I do it, I could also stand in the window flipping you the bird while you pick all your stuff up. That would be pretty immature, wouldn't you say so, Samantha? Well, congratulations, Rachel. You got me. You got me real good, didn't you? But aren't you forgetting something? You didn't just destroy my house. This was your mom's house, too. Weren't you going to give her this house to thank her for everything she did for you? Yeah, I was going to do that, but then I realized that everything she ever told me was a lie. She's done nothing but use me and abuse me my entire life. I mean, she went along with your dastardly scheme to kick me out of my own house, right? What kind of parent would do that to their own child? The very fact that she sided with her daughter-in-law over her own daughter shows what a backstabbing snake that woman is. It's no surprise that my dad ditched her. Wait a minute, you mean you've been talking to your dad? What sort of nonsense has he been telling you? Tom told me that he's a total deadbeat who ditched you guys to go on some weird journey to find himself. If he really was a deadbeat, why would he continue to send his ex-wife and children money every month to make sure all their needs were met? He's been sending your mom money? I never heard about that. Yes, it's not something my mom would like anyone else to know. But that means your dad has money, right? Okay, then we don't need you after all. We'll just go ask him for help building a new house. I don't think he'll be very willing to help you guys out. Oh yeah? What makes you say that? Because he's the one who helped me tear down that house. What? I never told you what my dad does for a living, did I? He owns his own demolition company, one of the biggest in the area, actually. And you can see why, right? He completely leveled that house practically overnight. I don't believe you. Why are you teaming up with your dad to screw over your mom? Your mom's the one who's been taking care of you since you were a baby. And this is how you repay her? Do you have any idea how much pain this is going to cause your mom? Yeah, I have a pretty good idea. And that's what makes it feel so good. She lied to me about my dad, making him out to be the bad guy. But even still, my dad didn't tell us the truth because he was trying to protect us. Not only that, she forced me to work to support her despite taking money from him. No way. You mean everything your mom said about him was a lie? Every last word. I was shocked myself. It was like my entire world came crashing down around me. And then there's my brother. I don't know how much he knows about my dad, but he should know better than to listen to you. He's a willing participant in your scheme to cheat me out of my house. So as far as I'm concerned, all three of you are nothing to me anymore. You declared war against me, and I'm not going down without a fight. Hold on, Rachel. Let's calm down for a second and talk things out, okay? I get it. You're mad that we kicked you out of your house, and I'm sorry. I guess maybe we were a little tiny bit out of line. But trust me, Tom is already angry enough for the both of you. He's yelling at me that this is all my fault for making you angry, so what do you say, Rachel? Can we find some way to make amends? Make amends? With you? What's in it for me? If you're telling me that you're going to build a new house for me and let me live there for free, then maybe we could work something out. But that's not what this is it? You're just going to try and get me to pay off the loan for you and build a new house for you and let you live there with me? Am I right? Well, yeah, I'm right. And I don't really see how I would benefit from all that. I tried to give you guys a chance. I was willing to let you guys live in that house with Mom and me. But then you went and tried to have it all for yourselves. And now that it's gone, you want to be all buddy-buddy with me and live together as one big happy family? Yeah, that ain't happening. I'm not so naive as to think you've suddenly had a change of heart. If given the chance, you would do the exact same thing to me every single time. And I'm not going to give you that chance ever again. Please, Rachel, don't be like that. Everyone went along with what I said, and thanks to that, we don't have a place to live anymore. Both Tom and your mom are really mad at me. It wasn't supposed to happen this way. When we first kicked you out of the house, everyone was so happy. We even went on that vacation to celebrate. And I knew all along that this is what kind of people you all were. You were all perfectly willing to stab someone in the back, even a family member, if it meant you would benefit somehow. And now you're all acting like crabs in a boiling pot of water, trying to pull each other down as you try to get out. I'm just going to go and grab my popcorn to snack on while I watch your downfall. Just as I thought, the three of them went back and forth trading blame for what happened. Tom and my mom blamed Samantha because she's the one who came up with the scheme. Meanwhile, Samantha said that my mom shouldn't have lied to us about my dad. Also that Tom shouldn't be such a mama's boy. And to be honest, they all kind of have a point. But in the end, Samantha and Tom ended up getting divorced. After that, my mom tried to come crawling back to me. She gave me this whole sob story about how lonely she was while my dad was at work and how he never gave her the attention she needed. But I know too much now. I'll never be able to trust her again. I told her that I don't want anything to do with her ever again. She is not my mother anymore. Tom tried his best to get out of the loan, but after talking with a bunch of different lawyers, he realized he was stuck. He had to move into a cheap, run-down apartment close to his office. As for me, my dad and I have started meeting up a few times a month for dinner. We have a lot of lost time to make up for. I had been saving up money to pay for the house, but since I don't need to worry about that anymore, I decided to start my own business. The future is looking brighter and brighter every day. Hey, so you heard that I got married, right? So don't you think it's time for you to, No, Lisa, I don't know. Are you really gonna make me say it? It's time for you to pack up your things. That doesn't really help me at all. What is this about, Lisa? Oh, and before we continue, yes, I did hear about you getting married. Congratulations. I understand you decided to wait until you saved up a bit of money to do the wedding. Is that right? Clara, please, there are precious few people I want to talk about my wedding with, and you are not one of them. Let's stay on topic, shall we? Today's topic is you getting out of my parents' house. I decided that me and my husband are going to live there from now on. That's a really odd thing to be deciding for yourself. I mean, Alex and I have been living here for quite some time now. It's just as much our house as your parents' house. Speaking of whom, have you even talked to them about this? Why should I even bother? Like, seriously, is there any reason for you to think they wouldn't be totally thrilled at the idea of me moving in with them? I mean, I'm their daughter. You're just their daughter-in-law, as in not their real daughter. If I called and told them I wanted to move in, they would be kicking you out onto the curb before I finished my sentence. So it's final. You're moving out and I'm moving in. End of discussion. Final? We haven't even begun to discuss this, though. You're really going to stand there and tell me and Alex that we have to move out of the house we've been living in for years? What are you going to do about the loan payment? I'm the one who's covering it for them right now. Your mom and dad aren't putting anything towards the loan. Didn't you know that? So if you're thinking about moving back in with your parents so you can save money on rent, I can assure you it's not gonna happen. You should really rethink this. I'm not concerned about the stupid mortgage. My husband will take care of that, no problem. I mean, how much could it possibly be? The only thing I'm concerned about is you getting out of my parents' awesome house as soon as possible. You don't deserve to live in a house like that. I don't think it's a matter of deserving it. Also, you really don't know how much the monthly mortgage payment for this house is? You're talking like you assume it's not very much, but I am telling you it's a lot more than you think. Are you sure your husband makes enough to cover it? That is none of your business. Really, how dare you even ask me about my husband's income? That is manners 101, Clara. Anyway, I've already talked to my brother about this, and he's on the same page, so get out. Wait a second. You're saying you've talked to Alex about this? And he's agreeing with you? This is the first time I've heard of this. But if that's true, then we'll need to start looking for a new place right away. We? What do you mean, we? Alex isn't going anywhere. You're the one who's leaving. Well, that's one more thing that I'll have to talk to Alex about. I think I'll go ahead and have that conversation right now. I doubt I'd get anywhere by talking to you anyway. Alex, we need to talk. I just had an interesting conversation with your sister, Lisa. She's telling me that I have to move out of the house while you are going to stay. She also says that you're in full agreement with her on this little arrangement. Would you mind telling me just what in the world is going on here?
I don't get what you need me to explain. Sounds like my sister's already told you everything. Good, that saves me a bunch of trouble and time talking to you.
Should I take this to mean that we're getting divorced? You're finally going to let me go?
Hey, don't act like I was the one dragging my feet or anything. I've been wanting to divorce you this whole time. It's just that with you gone, who's gonna pay the mortgage? It sure as hell isn't gonna be me. Lisa says her husband can take care of it though, so that means there's no reason for me to keep up this charade any longer. If I get to be rid of you and don't have to pay for the mortgage, then I want to get divorced as soon as possible. I even get to stay in the same room I've been living in. The only thing that'll change is I won't have to deal with seeing your ugly face every day.
Uh-huh. Well, you're nothing if not predictable. That's the exact thought I had when Lisa told me she was kicking me out. But come on, Alex, you can't possibly think this is going to go well for you. Stabbing me in the back like this and kicking me out of the house, you're going to regret this. And not just you, Lisa, her husband, your parents, your entire family is going to regret this.
Regret what? Seriously, what will there be to regret when you're gone? I can't think of a single reason. For me, everything will stay the same, except now I'll be free from you. God, you have no idea how obnoxious you are. Every single day it's nothing but nag, 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 nag from you. I started getting migraines just by looking at you. Not having to live with you is gonna add at least an extra 15 years to my life.
All right then, I suppose that settles that. We're getting divorced. Agreed? Can I start talking to my lawyer about that?
Sure, whatever. Knock yourself out. Literally, if possible.
Okay, well, don't come crying to me when the regret inevitably starts to set in. It doesn't take a crystal ball to see that you and your entire family are about to go down in flames. Are you moved out yet? Just so you know, we're planning on moving in tomorrow. Your stuff is all taken care of, right? I don't want to have to deal with moving any of your junk out of the way while we're carrying all our stuff inside. Not to worry, Lisa. I'll be completely moved out of the house by this evening. But, wow, you don't waste time, do you? I didn't expect you would be moving in this soon after kicking me out. Are you joking? You should be lucky I gave you a few days to get ready at all. I didn't want to have to wait one more second to live in that sweet house. I mean, I'm never going to get another opportunity to live in a literal mansion for this cheap in my life. Right now, the only thing standing between me and living the dream is you. But you're not going to get in my way anymore after tonight. Okay, Lisa, if you're under the impression that you'll be living here for cheap, then there is no way you actually know how much the mortgage is. Did you even ask? There is no way Alex is going to put a dime towards it. You know that, right? Are you really okay with that? Would you just get over yourself? I already told you we'll pay the mortgage with no issues at all. All you're doing is trying to scare us into not moving in so you can stay. I'm not an idiot, Clara. That's not going to work. Honestly, I don't have a problem with letting you guys pay the mortgage for me. All I'm doing is making sure you know what you're getting yourself into. I don't think you fully understand the situation. Would you give it up already? I know, you want to stay living in my parents' mansion. I get it. But really, Clara, you're not even a real member of this family. You don't have any right to live in that house. Stop worrying about a pathetic little $50 mortgage payment and leave already. $50? The mortgage is $5,000 a month. What? Oh, you're such a liar. There's no way it's that much. You think I'm an idiot? The average mortgage payment in that area is around $500. I looked it up online, and we're only going to pay 1/10 of that. What a stupid lie to tell. Do you know what an average is? For real, you think you can live anywhere for $50 a month? You are out of your mind. You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to believe you over my brother. Wait, you mean Alex is the one who told you the mortgage was $50 a month? And worse than that, you actually believed him? Can we be done with this conversation already? I'm getting sick of listening to your desperate lies. You need to face facts, Clara. Alex is through with you. He is never going to take you back, no matter how much you beg or plead or cry. Seriously, why can't you get that through your thick skull? What the? You think I'm trying to save my relationship with Alex? He told me everything. You are so pathetic. You were so desperate to keep him from throwing you away, and your master plan to stay with him was to offer to pay the mortgage? You thought he was going to deal with your constant nagging for a lousy $50 a month? He only stayed married to you this long because he felt bad for you. But unfortunately for you, he has a little sister who is willing to stand up for him. Do you get it now? Nothing you say or do is going to save your skin. You are never going to set foot in that mansion ever again. And we are going to take your place for the low, low price of $50 a month. This is going to be great. I can't believe Alex would tell you such an obvious and stupid lie. That's a new low even for him. But hey, it's no skin off my nose. If you're going to go out of your way to insult me, then I have nothing more to say to you. Enjoy living in that house while you can. I think you'll be in for a rude awakening rather soon. Seriously, give it up. Your pathetic little scare tactics are not going to work on me. Just shut up and get out of my house. Got it? As you wish. Goodbye, Lisa. Oh, and just so we're clear, do not come crying to me for help in a few weeks when the mortgage payment comes due. I won't lift a single finger to save you from the mess you've made for yourself. Hey, answer your phone. Why do you keep ignoring my calls? I am calling you for a reason, an important one. That may be so, but I don't have anything to say to you. More importantly, I don't really feel like hearing your voice ever again. If you have something to tell me, say it by text. I divorced your brother and moved out of the house already. What more could you want from me? This isn't about your divorce. We are way past that. This is a complete disaster. What sort of disaster? If there's a fire, call the fire department. If someone's sick, call an ambulance. Why are you texting me? I thought the mortgage was only $50 a month, but now I find out it's actually $5,000? That's insane! There's no way I can pay this. Oh, you mean it's exactly what I told you it was a few weeks ago? Is that all you wanted to tell me? I already know how much the mortgage is. I'm the one that was paying it up until last month. And I'm pretty sure I remember you saying that you'd be able to pay it with no issues. But I thought you were just trying to scare me out of moving in. I mean, a $5,000 mortgage payment, no one could pay that much. It's a little bit late to be having this conversation, I'd say. I was telling you the truth, but you believed my lying ex-husband instead. My mom and dad aren't being helpful at all either. They're just making fun of me. Mom told me I was an idiot for thinking a house this size would have a mortgage payment of just $50. Can you believe that? My own mom is calling me names. She's right, though. Only an absolute moron would think that you could get any house, much less that one, for $50 a month. What did you think was going to happen when you talked to me about this? I already know the mortgage amount, and I already know you're a moron. Stop mocking me. I mean, $5,000 a month. That's not a loan. That's like extortion. That's way too much for a monthly payment. What is going on? Why is it so much? After we moved in with them, your parents took out a second mortgage on their home. I guess they invested the money in a brand new business idea your dad had. The business failed, though, leaving them out of all that money. So it fell on Alex and I to pay it for them. However, Alex's employment situation changed at the worst possible timing. By which I mean he lost his employment, he got fired. His industry is a pretty niche one, so he hasn't been able to find new work since then. All he does these days is a part-time job. Which means that since neither your parents nor your brother were making any money, it fell on me to pay the whole amount by myself.
Wait, you mean Alex is unemployed? I don't believe this. He never told me that.
In fairness, he does have a part-time job, so he's only underemployed, not unemployed. But more importantly, he's certainly not making enough money to be able to pay $5,000 a month.
I don't understand. How were you able to pay that much? How do you even make money? All I ever heard about you from Alex is that you were at home most of the time. How do you make enough money to pay $5,000 a month toward a mortgage while holed up in your room all day?
I'm a currency trader, so all I need to make money is a computer and an internet connection. I'm pretty good at what I do, so I'm making more than enough to shell out that kind of money every month. Although my income has declined a bit recently. Ever since I found out Alex was cheating on me and started thinking about divorcing him, the stress has had an impact on my performance.
He was cheating on you?
Wow, Alex really didn't tell you anything at all, huh? It seems like you're yet another victim of Alex's lies. I've told you the truth, though, so I've done all I can for you.
So it's for real then? We're on the hook for paying $5,000 a month for this house? No way, that is completely ridiculous. My husband only agreed to move in with my parents because we thought it was going to be $50 a month. I never even heard of a $5,000 mortgage payment before.
Well, I guess you learned something new today. In any case, I'm sure the bank has contacted you about the payment already, right? That should be more than enough to prove that I was telling the truth and Alex was lying.
Then what am I going to do now?
Why are you asking me? I'm not your sister-in-law anymore.
Okay, well, then there's only one thing for us to do. You need to come back.
Excuse me?
If we can just get you and Alex to kiss and make up, then all of our problems will be solved. I'll bet that's what Alex wants too. Sure, maybe he had some indiscretions here and there, but don't we all? Nobody's perfect, right? And what about you? I bet you're super lonely living all by yourself in some dumpy apartment. Wouldn't you rather live together with all of us in this big, beautiful, fancy house? Come on, Clara, let's be a family once again.
Are you out of your mind? I've already moved into my new house. It's actually bigger than your parents' house. And I will never be your family again.
It's even bigger, but you can't do that.
Yes, I can. What's the problem?
Why do you get to live in a better house than us and all by yourself? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna pay the mortgage?
I don't know, and I don't care. This is a problem for you and your family. I no longer have any ties to any of you. We're practically perfect strangers now. Do you really not get that?
But you're the one who's been keeping my family out of bankruptcy up until now, right? What are we gonna do without you? And now you tell me you've already moved into an even bigger house all by yourself? That's not fair.
Yeah, once I got rid of my pointless $5,000 per month expenditure, it was easy to find a nice place for myself. Sure, this house is a bit too big for one person, but I can always hire a maid to clean it for me if I want. And besides, don't you have bigger issues to worry about than my living situation? Like, for example, your living situation? And you'd better come up with a solution fast, because I doubt the bank will wait for long. Good luck.
Good luck? Is that all you have to say to us? You have to do something about this, Clara. You might have divorced my brother now, but up until that, we were family, right?
Yeah, I was your family right up until the point Alex cheated on me and you kicked me out of the house. I told you that you would regret that, and it looks like I was right again. So, goodbye, Lisa. I hope you and the family can come together to work through this very difficult situation.
Hey, Clara, can we talk? I got this massive stack of papers in the mail today. It says they're from your lawyer? You're suing me? Come on, Clara, really? You have to know that there's no way I could pay you this much. And then there's the issue of the mortgage. Lisa and her husband are kind of mad at me for fudging the numbers on how much the mortgage payment is.
Fudging the numbers? Alex, for real? That might be an even more egregious lie than when you said you were going to a job interview when you were going to see your mistress. I knew you didn't have 3 job interviews a week since I'm not a moron, so I knew you were lying. Your sister, however, is such a colossal moron that I don't understand how she's even able to drive a car.
Don't insult my family like that. Please, Clara, can't we make things work out somehow? You don't really want to sue me, do you? Let's get back together again. We had a good thing going between us. If we just get back together, then everything's going to be all right again.
I am honestly impressed, Alex. That might just be the single most audacious thing I have ever heard. You took advantage of my kind and forgiving nature, fooled around with another woman behind my back, emptied our savings account and spent all our money on her, embezzled your company's money and got fired, stuck me with paying a $5,000 per month mortgage, and for the cherry on top, you kicked me out of your house. And after all of that, you think you have the right to beg me to come back to you? I guess stupidity runs in your family. I mean, your dad took out a second mortgage on his house when interest rates were at their highest in decades, just to finance one of the worst business ideas I've ever heard of. So, yeah, it must be genetic. I can't believe I didn't see this in you before I married you. But thank God we're divorced now.
Clara, you're angry at me. I understand that, but we've had plenty of fights up until now, haven't we? And in the end, we always made up and stuck together. We make a great team. You know that deep down you're still in love with me and want to find a way to make this marriage work.
My God in heaven, would you wake up already? We never made up. You just told me that I shouldn't get mad about you cheating on me since you only slept with women uglier than me. That doesn't make it better. It just makes you sound like an even bigger creep. That's not the sort of thing we can make up after, Alex. And by the way, how can we make this marriage work when we aren't even married anymore? We are divorced, all because you cheated on me. Oh, and by the way, I had you checked out. I believed you when you said that you were working part-time while looking for a career in your field. But you were lying about that, too. You're not working at all. All the times you said you were going to work, you were just going to see your mistress. Even after you said you would cut things off with her. Not that it matters anymore. So, yeah, I talked to my lawyer and he said that I have the right to sue you to recover the money you spent on your mistress. If you don't want to add criminal charges to your resume, then I suggest you do exactly as my lawyer told you to.
Don't do this to me, Clara. I already have enough problems on my hands. I don't need this on top of everything else. I'll break things off with her, okay? Would that make you feel better?
Is that a serious question? You think that's going to make a difference now?
I'm sorry, Clara. I just never understood how much you really meant to me until now. I realize what a jerk I've been, and I want to make things right with you. Let's get back together, babe, please. I am in big trouble right now, and you're the only one who can help me. My parents and sister are really mad about me lying about the mortgage, and Lisa's husband is super mad. He says he has half a mind to divorce Lisa right here and now. At this rate, my entire family is going to fall apart. So please, can't you just let go of your pride for 1 second? Come home, Clara. I need you. We all need you.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I, however, have no need for a worthless parasite like you in my life. We are never getting back together. If you really see what a jerk you've been, then you know what you need to do. Take responsibility for what you did to your parents, your sister, and to me. Get a job, for real this time, and pay what you owe. Talk with your family and figure something out between yourselves. Keep me out of it.
Don't just abandon me like this, Clara. I know I was taking advantage of you. I thought you'd forgive me no matter what I did. I was wrong.
Yeah, you were, but it's way too late for you to have this epiphany.
I can't live without you. My family is in danger and you're the only one who can save it. Please, come back to me.
No! I'm not getting back together with you, and I am not going to save your family from your well-deserved fates. Quite the contrary, I'm going to relish every second of your downfall. Goodbye, you worthless leech. Enjoy bankruptcy. Hey, Clara, how have you been lately? Hopefully better than us. We decided we're gonna have to sell the house. Oh, and my husband left me. Can you believe that? We've only been married for a month. Alex has a steady job now, but most of his money is getting eaten up by the monthly payments he has to make to you. So, yeah, none of us are able to make the payments on the mortgage. Yeah, that's exactly what I expected was going to happen. But you're all getting exactly what you deserve. You should have been prepared for the consequences when you used me as an insurance policy. I suggest you choose a house that's more within your means next time. I wish you all the best of luck. Wait, Clara! Don't you feel sorry for me at all? Do I feel sorry for you? Is that a serious question? Well, yeah. I lost my husband because of you. And I know you have more than enough money to help me out, so what do you say, Clara? I'd say the very least you owe me is a couple $1,000. If it weren't for you, I would still be married right now. Oh, Lisa. The longer you spend blaming me for your problems, the less time you'll actually have to solve them. I just hope you realize that before it's too late. I'm sorry, but there is absolutely nothing that I am willing or able to do to help you. I hope you take this new opportunity and learn a few important lessons, though. It wasn't for very long, but we were sisters once. Wait, you really thought of me as your sister? I had no idea. I'm sorry for not noticing sooner. I guess I have been something of a selfish jerk to you, haven't I? You can say that again. However, it's a positive sign that you can admit that. Like I said, use this as an opportunity to turn your life around. There's nothing I can do for you, but you're still young. You have all the time in the world to start over again. Goodbye, Lisa. I'll be praying that your life changes for the better. I have expected to keep hearing from Lisa, Alex, or their parents for some time after that. I couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't going to give up on me helping them out so easily. But to my surprise, I never heard a thing from any of them ever again. So with that, I was able to completely sever my relationship with Alex and his entire family. Alex was a special case, though. If any of them were going to cause me trouble, it would have been him, so I blocked his number on my phone. Even still, I had trouble sleeping for a while after that because I was worried he would show up at my new house.
It took quite a while, but after several monthly payments from Alex, I recovered the full amount of money that he had stolen from me to spend on his mistress. This is secondhand information, but my understanding is that after they sold their house, Alex's family moved into a small apartment downtown. And, well, that's where they all still are right now. The four of them are living together as one big, not-so-happy family. Like I said to Lisa in my final text to her, I do hold out hope that they've managed to learn a thing or two from this. For example, his parents need to learn proper risk management. Lisa needs to learn to be less selfish, less impulsive, and less presumptuous. Alex needs to learn a lot of things. But for the time being, the thing he most desperately needs to learn is to not be a lying, cheating, stealing, dirty, rotten scumbag. And as for me, I'm doing great. I enjoyed living the life of a princess in that mansion I bought for a while, but, living in a big house all by yourself is actually kind of lame. I sold it and downsized to a penthouse apartment. I am currently loving my new single life. I have more time to focus on my work and myself than I have had in years. I was thinking about you today. Once I pass this test and get into this pre-med program, it will be clearer than ever how different you and I are. Honestly, I was seriously mad when I found out my dad was marrying a loser high school dropout like you. Ever since the day I first met you, I could tell that you and I were just not at all in the same league. And now I can finally say that you do not deserve to be in the same family, the same house, or even the same country as me and my dad. Get out of our house right now. Oh, today was your big test, wasn't it? You seem like you're in as good of a mood as you ever are. Can I take that to mean that you're confident about how well you performed? You got that right. I finished that stupid test faster than any of the other morons in the room. It was way easier than I thought it would be. I was even kind of disappointed. But not even half as disappointed as I am that my dad married you. I've been waiting for the day when I could finally tell you exactly how I feel about you. And now that day has come. A low IQ loser like you has no right to marry my dad or call yourself my mom. I've been doing plenty of waiting myself, Luna. I've been waiting for the day when you would finally calm down and accept that your dad and I wanted to be together. But now I'm afraid that day may never come. Are you kidding? Of course it's never going to come. I have never for 1 second thought of you as anything other than a free maid service. God knows my dad isn't going to do any of the housework. And since I was busy studying for my test, I haven't had any free time at all lately either. And with you around, the house stayed clean, so I kept my mouth shut. But guess what? I just finished taking my test, so I'll have a ton of free time to wash the dishes or whatever. So I'm happy to announce that we don't need you anymore. I can take care of myself just fine. Wow, Luna, I had no idea you felt so strongly about me. I mean, you've always been pretty short with me, and the way you spoke to me always gave me the idea that you weren't too fond of me. But to say I was nothing more than a free maid service for you? I know I'm not perfect, but I'll have you know that I was doing my best to support you. I was hoping that one day you might even start calling me Mom. Oh my God, no! Don't hold your breath for that. You want to be my mom? Tell you what, how about you go and get admitted into a college as prestigious as the one I'm about to go to? If you can do that, then I'll call you whatever you want. I see you're still held up on the idea of having a college education. I can assure you that there are many more important things in life than educational attainment. I really hope that you can come to understand that. If you can learn to focus on the most important things, then you're far more likely to live the best life possible. Huh? What are you rambling on about? I already know how to live my best life possible. I literally have a 5-year plan. And everything is going just how I wanted it to go. Really, the only super important step in the plan was passing this test and getting admitted to the pre-med program. And now that I've done that, the rest is going to be super easy. Well, I'm glad you have a plan for your life. I'm also glad to see that you've chosen a wonderful path in life. Being a doctor is an incredibly important and rewarding profession. You'll have the ability to help people who are in need. You could even save a person's life. Wouldn't that be incredible?
What are you talking about? You think that's why I wanted to get into this pre-med program?
You mean it's not?
No, you idiot. Get real. You think I want to spend all my time around sick people? Yuck. What if one of them coughs or bleeds all over me? That could get me sick, and I'll take a hard pass on that.
I'm not sure what you mean, Luna. You're saying that you aren't going to become a doctor to help people in need?
No. What's with you, Carly? What do you think I am, some kind of saint? I don't care about a bunch of coughing, bleeding, puking, screaming, crying, sick and injured people. There is only one thing in this world that I care about. Me. All I want out of college is to get married to an elite guy who's going to go on to become rich and influential. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life working like some kind of corporate drone. Even if I did want to work, it definitely wouldn't be with sick people. No, I just want to marry a rich man. He'll give me all the money I want to buy clothes and shoes. He'll take me on expensive trips to exotic locations all around the world. That's my dream.
I see. Well, that's quite the dream you have, Luna. I don't know how good of an idea it's going to be, considering how expensive the pre-med program you're applying to is.
It's just like any other investment. Some people invest in stocks, some people invest in real estate, and some people invest in cryptocurrency. I'm going to invest in something that'll have a way better payoff. All I need to do is pretty myself up every class, find the guy who looks the most promising, and use my feminine charm on him. Then we'll get married and he'll pay off whatever debt I build up while in school and have tons of money left over. That's the kind of life my dad would want me to have. He wouldn't want me wasting away the best years of my life studying, working, slaving away just to bring home an average income.
So that's the plan you talked about earlier? You're just going to marry a guy and have him take care of you?
I can't believe you actually thought I wanted to work. You're such a moron. Your problem is that you're thinking like a low IQ high school dropout. You and I aren't even close to being on the same level, and don't you forget that. Now, for the last time, divorce my dad and get out of our house and our lives. We don't need you now, and we never will. So pack up your stuff and be gone by tomorrow morning. Actually, you know what? Don't pack up your stuff. I'll just throw it all down to the curb for you. So you can just go straight from your office to some homeless shelter or something, because you are never setting foot in this house again.
Luna, I feel like I should warn you that you are making a tremendous mistake. Are you sure you want to do this? Once you kick me out of your life, there is no way you'll ever be able to bring me back in.
Oh, I am 100% sure. And my dad will be happier this way too. Like, why would he even want to stay with a dumb old woman like you? With you out of the way, he can date younger and prettier women.
Okay then, Luna. Have it your way.
Hello there, Carly. How are things? Have you recovered from the shock of me getting you kicked out of the house? Have you adjusted to the harsh realities of being homeless?
Wow, I didn't expect to hear from you, Luna. I was under the impression that you never wanted to speak to me again. Why are you texting me even after your big plan to kick me out succeeded?
Aw, are you sad that I ruined your life? Are you gonna cry now?
I'm actually quite busy at the moment, Luna. If you have something to say to me, I'd appreciate if you could make it quick.
Oh yeah, you are definitely crying right now. Anyway, would you like to know what I just found out? I passed the entrance exam for the pre-med program. Dad was so happy for me when I told him. He just about started crying. And you know what that means? Now it's official. I am going to live a way different life than you. Like, it's going to be so different, you wouldn't even be able to comprehend it.
Wow, that's excellent. I'm glad you're one step closer to making your dream come true, Luna. I do have one question for you, though. This isn't any of my concern anymore, but I am curious. How are you planning on paying for your tuition? Is your dad going to be able to help you out with that?
What kind of question is that? Yeah, he's gonna help me. He's gonna pay for the whole thing.
Is that so? Well, if that's the case, then that's great news.
Oh no, don't tell me. Did you ask me that expecting that I wouldn't have a plan for paying my tuition? Like you thought I would overlook such an important detail? Oh my God, you are pathetic. Sorry, Carly, but unlike you, I actually have a functioning brain. You're so lame, seriously.
I was only asking out of curiosity. You say you're fine, so that answers my question. Anyway, since we're not family anymore, I would appreciate it if you could stop sending me messages like this.
This is hilarious. You're so jealous that I'm gonna have a way better life than you. I'm glad I texted you, Carly. I needed a good laugh after doing nothing but studying all day for the last year while preparing for the admissions test. Anyway, I'll let you go. I wouldn't want you to lose your spot in line at the soup kitchen. Bye-bye, Carly. I look forward to seeing your obituary.
Bye, Luna. I hope things go as well for you as you hope.
Yo, Carly, what's up, babe? Everything good? I was wondering, you want to go out on a date or something one of these days? I miss my girl.
I'd love that. I miss seeing you every day, too. By the way, how has Luna been since we divorced?
That kid? Well, considering I divorced you for her and had to go back to living on my own, I'm not really interested in doing anything else for her. Like, I barely even respond to her texts anymore. I had a kid at the cafe I stopped at the other day teach me how to disable notifications for her number.
You know what, Kent? You are one interesting guy. You have this odd combination of being willing to make massive sacrifices for your daughter and then not giving her the time of day.
Yeah, I mean, what else could I do? I knew from the very start that she would be against me getting remarried. I thought that once she got used to it, she'd chill out and stop being such a buzzkill, but boy, was I wrong. And I was never really all that big into the whole institution of marriage anyway. If me divorcing you means she's satisfied, I'm satisfied, and you're satisfied, then everybody's happy, right?
Yeah, I suppose it's working out well enough for all of us so far. But are you sure you're okay with going no contact with your own daughter?
Man, that girl never gave me the respect she should have. Like, you should have heard the way she was talking when talking me into divorcing you. She was all like, think about it, Dad, you'll be free to date younger and prettier women. I mean, it's like she doesn't even know me. There's only one lovebird who can tame this free spirit, and that's you, Carly.
We really were made for each other, weren't we? That's why I had no issue agreeing to have a nice and clean divorce with you just like she wanted. I know our relationship is stronger than any piece of paper.
And we're still seeing each other at least once a week. So yeah, if that's what she thinks of me, then I'll say that this is me fulfilling the last of my duties to her as her father. She's already 18 and she'll be going to college soon, so she can support herself from now on. Divorcing you was the last request that I'll ever take from her.
I'm just kind of surprised that you're so easygoing about this. Even you, easily the most easygoing man I've ever met. I mean, I'm on the same page as you and was never all that caught up in the idea of a legal marriage. Plus, right from the start, I wasn't concerned at all with what Luna thought of us being together, but you're still her father. I guess it's hard for me to believe you'd be okay with cutting her off like that.
Well, I mean, think about it. I never had things as good as they were when I was living with you. Being around you all the time was really fun, and I gave up all of that for her. If that's not enough to satisfy her, then she's just being way too greedy.
All right, if you say so. So, what are your plans for what you'll do here on out?
Well, I terminated my lease, so the next thing I'm gonna do is look for a plot of land out in the woods somewhere. I'm finally gonna make my dream come true. I'm gonna live off the land, grow my own food, and be self-sufficient. Since I'm not living with you anymore, that means I'm free to live wherever and do whatever I want, right?
That's so like you, Kent. And yeah, you're right, living with me must have been a bit cramped for you. We had to live somewhere that was within a reasonable commute of my office.
Right? I was like an animal trapped in a cage. A nice cage, mind you, but a cage nonetheless. Plus, you know that I've never been what you'd call a high-income individual, right? I basically just work whatever job sounds the most interesting to me any given week. Which, while exciting, isn't exactly the most stable lifestyle for supporting a daughter. Her whole divorce her daddy thing actually came at a pretty good time when I think about it. She'll be leaving home, so that means I'm free of any responsibilities to her. I've got nothing to tie me down anymore.
Yeah, about that. I just heard she passed the test and got accepted into that pre-med program. You must be happy, but what are you going to do about that?
Oh yeah, the test thing. You were probably way happier than me to hear about that. You always wanted to do something to help out sick people. It's a real bummer that you never got to become a doctor yourself like you wanted. But you do a lot to help out others in any way that you can. And now my girl Luna is gonna help you make your dream come true for real. Isn't that great?
Yeah, sure, Kent, real great. But what is she going to do about her tuition?
Her tuition? I don't know. I always assumed she would have figured out something for herself by now. I guess if we hadn't divorced, then you would have footed the whole bill for her yourself. But that possibility has flown out the window now. So if she was willing to kick out the person who was going to pay for her tuition, that must mean she has some kind of plan in mind. Like, I don't know, getting a part-time job while studying or something? I was never really concerned about that, seeing as though she's not my problem once she turns 18.
She actually does have a plan. It seems like she's expecting that you'll pay it for her.
Wait, what? She wants me to pay for her tuition? No siree, not a chance. Not gonna happen. I already told her that I couldn't pay for it. I was really clear to her that once she graduates high school, she's gonna have to take care of herself. Although, I don't know, she was staring pretty intently at her phone while I was talking to her. Maybe she didn't hear me? But in any case, it's not my problem. Besides, she should know better than anyone else that I don't have the kind of money to pay for tuition at a prestigious pre-med program like that.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, that clears up a lot. I was confused when she was telling me that earlier, but now I guess she was just under the wrong impression. Oh well, I'm certainly not going to pay for her tuition anymore, so she'll just have to work something out herself, like you say. I've told her as much myself.
You really think she would come to you for help in the first place, though? Like, that girl has never thought of you as a family member. The way she talks about you when you're not around, yikes! After all that, I really don't think she's gonna come crawling on her hands and knees to beg you for money.
Well, I certainly hope she won't. Anyway, I'm glad you and I are on the same page about how to deal with her. That means I have nothing to worry about.
So yeah, about that date, when are you free?
I'll check my schedule and get back to you. Do you think you can fit me into your busy schedule?
Let's see. I'm gonna go fishing this afternoon. Probably take a hike through the woods tomorrow. I'm swamped, but I can pencil you in somewhere.
Hey, what gives? I just talked to my dad, and he said he is not going to pay my tuition.
How did you pass that pre-med test if you can't even read basic English? I told you not to contact me anymore.
Yeah, well, circumstances have changed. My dad was thrilled that I passed that test. He said he was proud of me. Why would he go all crazy like that if he wasn't going to pay for my tuition?
Well, if I had to wager a guess, I'd say he was happy for you because you passed the test. Passing tests is a good thing, right? I don't see what the source of your confusion is. But just because he's happy for you doesn't mean he's going to pay for your tuition.
If he wasn't going to pay, he should have said so sooner. Like, come to me, look me in the eyes, and say it explicitly, I'm not gonna pay for your tuition. And you knew about this too, didn't you? Why didn't you tell me? You suck, Carly. Everything sucks. I had no idea my dad didn't make enough money to pay for my tuition.
Really? That seems like the sort of thing you should be able to tell at your age. But in any case, you should have known because he did tell you. He said he wasn't going to support you after you graduated high school, right?
Maybe he said something to that effect.
Yeah, and college is after high school, right? That means he's not going to support you in college. That is, he won't pay your tuition. Even if he wanted to, he doesn't have that kind of money. When he was talking to me, he was under the impression you would get a job and pay for everything yourself.
He never told me that, though.
Again, yes, he did, but that's not my problem. This is an issue between you and your dad. Leave me out of it. You're a big girl now. Go and take care of your own problems.
I'm not done with you yet. He told me about you, too. He said you were way happier than he was about me getting into that pre-med program. It was just like you said the other day. You thought I was going to become a doctor and help sick people.
Yes, and? Are we really going to rehash that conversation?
I'm getting to the point. Give me a second, will you? After he talked about that, he started laughing, like harder than he's ever laughed before. I asked him what was so funny, and he told me that you were planning on paying for my tuition. And since I made him divorce you, that offer is now off the table. Is that true?
Yep, all of it. I wanted to become a doctor when I was younger, but I dropped out of high school. On top of that, my family wasn't wealthy at all, so there was no way we would have been able to afford it anyway. That's why I was so happy when you started talking about going to med school and why I wanted to support you in any way I could. Because in spite of how much you hated me, I was still moved by the thought that you could help make my dream come true.
So he was telling the truth. But how were you going to pay for it? You don't have any money.
I'm only telling you this now because I'm no longer your stepmother, but looks can be deceiving. I run my own company and I haven't looked in a while, but I believe my net assets are somewhere around $3 million.
What?
So yeah, I was more than willing and able to pay for your tuition, but alas, you insisted that your father and I get divorced. But not only that, you took the liberty of throwing away all my things before I could get back to the house and collect them. Combine that with all the insults you've been flinging in my direction lately, and I've changed my mind.
I don't believe it. You were really going to do that for me?
That's right. I knew your dad wouldn't be able to, so I thought I would help you out in his place. But not anymore. No, I think I'm going to donate what I would have paid for your tuition to a charitable organization. There's one I've worked with in the past that helps sick children.
You're serious, aren't you? If I hadn't gone and pushed my dad to divorce you, you would have paid for me to go to med school?
How many times are you going to ask me that question?
I'm in shock, okay?
I was in shock too at how viciously opposed you were to me marrying your father. Even before that, you hated the thought of us even having a good relationship. I remember whenever I hugged your father goodnight, you would immediately start throwing a fit.
And in spite of all that, you were still gonna pay? But, why? What is it with you and me becoming a doctor? Is it really just because you wanted to become one but couldn't?
There's a bit more to the story, actually. Back when I was in middle school, my little sister contracted a rare illness. There was treatment available, but it was experimental, incredibly expensive, and not covered by insurance. My parents couldn't afford it and couldn't find any organizations willing to help them out. So my sister didn't make it. My mom felt so guilty that she wasn't able to save her daughter's life that she fell into a deep depression. It was all too much for my father to deal with, so he abandoned us. That's why I dropped out of high school, because I had to work to support my mother and myself. My dream of becoming a doctor was gone before it even had a chance to begin.
Wow. That's crazy. So you didn't drop out of high school because you were too dumb to graduate?
In fairness, I never thought of myself as being naturally gifted or anything. I do, however, have an above-average work ethic. I used the money left over after paying the bills to study about running a business, and after a while I started my own. It grew and grew to the point that now I've amassed something of a small fortune for myself, and now I intend to use that money to help people who are sick and suffering. I can't be a doctor myself, and I'm too late to save my sister. But there are still things I can do to save lives, and to see to it that no family goes through what mine did ever again.
Well, if that's the case, then I have great news for you. There just so happens to be an aspiring pre-med student who needs help paying for her tuition.
And who might that be?
Me! I thought that was obvious. If you help me go to college, then I'll go on to help sick kids just like your sister in the future. That's what you want, right? Don't worry, Carly. I swear to you, I will make your dream come true.
You're a little too late to play Little Miss Altruism, Luna. You already spilled the beans to me, remember? You told me that all you wanted to do was marry a rich man. You don't want to help sick children. All you want is expensive clothes, shoes, and luxurious vacations. You said so yourself.
But that was before. Hearing your story has changed my heart. It's a miracle. I can't wait to get right into the hospital and start operating on all the sick kids I can get my hands on.
That's pretty creepy, actually, and also not going to work on me. I've learned a lot of lessons in my time, and one of them is that people never truly change. Do you have any idea how much trouble you caused for your dad? He's come to me so many times over the course of our relationship to apologize for your behavior. And now he even divorced me just to please you. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back. He loves you as your father, but he's also fed up with your awful attitude. He wanted me to tell you that divorcing me was his parting gift to you, and that I am no longer under any obligation to help you pay for college.
Wait, what? You mean my dad knew you were going to pay for my tuition and divorced you anyway?
That's right, Luna. You have now successfully alienated the only two people in this world who would have lifted a finger to help you.
This can't be happening. This is going to ruin everything. Tell me, Carly, what do I have to do to get you to help me? Do you want me to apologize? I'll apologize to both you and my dad.
I don't need to hear any meaningless apologies from you. You have your 5-year plan, don't you? You'll just have to make it work yourself.
How, though?
How about the same way I did? Get a job. Anyway, I wanted to tell you that you were right about one thing. You are indeed going to live a way different life than me, and not in a good way. Luna did her very best to try and convince me to recommit to supporting her college education. I have no money to spend on some bratty teenager who's not my daughter or even stepdaughter. I kept refusing until eventually Luna realized she was out of luck and simply gave up. Not just on getting money from me, but on going to college altogether. There was no way she would be able to get the kind of money she needed by the start of the fall semester. So instead of spending her days in the classroom, she's spending them waiting tables at a local restaurant. After all the time I spent with her, though, I can honestly say that while she is a bit presumptuous, she's not a stupid girl by any means. I'm sure she'll find some way to make things work in the end. As for me, I decided that I would use my money to start up my own charitable organization. It's specifically geared for financially supporting the parents of sick children who need help paying for necessary medical treatment. I'm also starting a scholarship for people planning to go into pediatric medicine. And if Luna has a genuine change of heart, she's still more than welcome to apply.